We love comedians for all sorts of reasons, including our next guest, who is a comedian back home working out of St. Louis. Greg Warren's been on the show numerous times. Welcome back to the show, my friend.
Good to see you, buddy.
You are going to be at the Funny Bone this week.
I am, yeah.
Starting Thursday through Saturday?
Through Sunday, actually.
Through Sunday?
Yeah.
Got it. The Westport Funny Bone. How many shows Thursday?
One Thursday.
Two Friday?
3 on Saturday.
Oh.
And, 1 on Sunday, yeah.
3 on Saturday. So what's that, 6, 8, and 10?
I don't know. Yeah, 7, 9, and 11, I think, something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
They often say that the Friday shows are harder than the Saturday shows. Do you find that to be true?
The Friday Late Show is sort of a legendary...
tough show.
Yeah. It's like why Steve Martin quit doing stand-up comedy, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because everyone's tired from the work week and they're just sloppy drunk and it's make me laugh, idiot type of deal?
Yeah. They're just, if there's a problem, a lot of times it happens during that show.
Whereas the Saturday shows...
That's your. If you can't do well on first show Saturday, then just get out of the business. That's your money night, man. Yeah.
Because people are relaxed, they're rested. The babysitter's at the house. They're going to have dinner. They want to be entertained.
They came out to have a good time.
Yeah. Okay.
There's always some young comics who are like, yeah, man, I killed him. Like, yeah, it's Saturday first show. You were supposed to, man. If you didn't,
Well, that's like people who want to be talk show hosts. They come up to me and like, oh, I got the greatest topic in the world. Well, what is it? I don't want to tell you. You're going to steal it. Okay. Well, for 20 minutes they're telling me what a great topic is, and then I say, all right, well, what are you going to do Tuesday? Oh, wait a minute. I got to do Tuesday now?
Yeah. Several Tuesdays, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, and then you got to do Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah,
it never ends.
52.
Yeah. I had a good line once in January of 2004. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
All right, so you've been on the circuit how long now?
Full time for about 15 years.
15 years, and you recently moved back to St. Louis.
I did, yeah.
How often are you on the road?
It's like about 200 days a year.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it? Is it get tiring? Is it?
Yeah, I mean, it beats you down a little bit, but I mean, there's people that work for a living. So,
right.
Well,
but I mean, come on. I mean, working late, getting up early, writing jokes. This isn't a
pretty awesome way to live.
It is, but it's not a normal 9 to 5. I mean, it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah, it's a little different. Yeah. I mean,
I had a comedian friend of mine once tell me when he was just getting started that he would game the system and sleep in his car till noon because he would get paid for like 3 nights. The guy would pay him 3 nights for the hotel.
Yeah.
And he would sleep in his car till noon. That way he wouldn't pay for the first night of the hotel, but he would check in at noon. So he would game the system that way and then save $20 for the hotel room.
This guy was working some bad gigs, man.
Well, when you get started, isn't that what you do, kind of?
Yeah. I got a Toyota Camry, and I went on the road. I had a day job, so I was like making money. I was selling Pringles for a living.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah. I we'll talk about that. I was at Pringles and Duncan Hines and Crisco. Right out of college.
So you had a real suit and tie job?
For like 10 years, man.
Okay.
So I had a little money saved up, but I just quit my job, and I bought a nice, like, good, solid Camry, and I lived out of my car for like a year.
Okay, well there you go.
Yeah.
What was the?
But I didn't sleep in it.
Okay, fair enough. What was the thing that said, I don't want to do this, I want to be a comedian?
It's interesting. So you know how in comedy, like, there's 3 guys usually on a show at most road clubs. So you have the opener, who's the local guy usually, and then the middle guy, who back in the day was from out of town most of the time, and he made just a little bit of money, enough to kind of keep him alive. And then the headliner, who they fly in and all that stuff.
Right.
So when you're starting out, like I was in Cincinnati at the time working for Procter & Gamble at their headquarters, and I was the first guy all the time, like in all these clubs around Ohio. And it sucks, man. I mean, you're like everybody thinks that you're bad.
Right.
And nobody's really listening, and there's food coming out and all that stuff.
Right.
So I did that forever.
Don't forget to tip your waiters and waitresses, and we're sure glad you're here. And we got a great show for you tonight.
Right. And every now and then you get some jokes off. And, it's a tough way to go. And then I had this friend that owned a club in Dayton, Ohio, and she let me be the second guy. I was getting good enough, and she was like, "Okay, you can be the second guy." And Kevin Pollak. Kevin Pollak.
Yeah, sure.
At that time, he was the headliner that week.
Okay.
And it was right when he came off of, like, he started doing stand-up again after he was acting. Like, he was on A Few Good Men, like, a couple years before.
Okay, so this is, like, late in 1990s or so.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And so Pollak was a headliner, and they let me be the second guy. and the place was packed all weekend long, and I killed, and Pollock was like, hey, man, you should do this full time or whatever. And I went back to work that Monday, and I was like sitting at my desk. I'm like, there's no way that I can sit here. Like I can't,
Right. It was so much of a high.
Now the good story would be that I went into my boss and told him, hey, I'm going to quit. But what really did happen is I got up to do that, and I went to the bathroom instead. And I went to the bathroom about 60 times before I actually did.
So you walked by the guy's office 60 times before you had the guts to walk
60
in.
days. Like this
60 days.
Yeah, this was like every other day I'd be like, nah, I'm quitting. And I'd get up to go to his office, and then I'd be, I'm just going to go to the bathroom instead. So I went to the bathroom a lot. Yeah, I think most of the people there thought I had a UTI or something. But
had the Pringle sales go, they must have plummeted.
Oh, the company barely survived without me. McGraw's one of the best in the business, man. I mean, you want to know something about Pringles? I'll tell you.
So hold on. So after 60-some-odd days, you finally walked in and said...
I go to my boss, Rob DiMartini, who I believe now is the CEO of New Balance, okay?
Okay.
He's a pretty sharp guy. And I go, Rob, man, I'm going to quit, man. And he was like, is it to do comedy? And I go, yeah. He goes, well, he points behind him. He goes, there's a bookshelf right there full of all these manuals that teach managers how to talk P&G employees out of quitting to go somewhere. At the time, like there was all these, they used to get headhunted all the time. So
right.
like to go to Johnson & Johnson or to go to Boston Scientific.
Okay,
he goes, I don't know, man. There's no manuals up there about comedy, so good luck, buddy.
Good luck to you.
yeah.
And then you were off and running.
Yeah.
And then you just sort of pounded on pavements and knocked on doors.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of had it lined up where I'd been doing it long enough where I knew some people.
Right.
And so it was awesome.
What'd your parents say? What'd your dad say?
Not happy. My dad was not happy.
Really?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I told him. I think I was 33 at the time. You know? I was like, yeah, Dad, I'm gonna give this comedy thing a shot. And he was like, no. Like, well, I wasn't really asking permission on this deal.
I'm 33, Dad.
I'm 33. He's like, nah, you go back there and get the job back. I don't think it's a good idea. And
right.
I'm like, no, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
He was pretty upset. My mom was very supportive.
Because 33 is, I mean, you can really chase your dream at any time, but 33 is kind of late in the game.
Yeah,
but.
And I had like stock options and all that stuff, which are all gone now. All that money's gone.
Yeah, so the velvet handcuffs didn't
almost got me.
Almost got me. But you know what though? I mean, when it's all said and done, 15, 20 years later, I mean, you've had a lifetime of fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. Now the last 15 years have been pretty awesome. I was like, do you ever miss it? I'm like, no. I mean, talk to me in about 5 years when I'm, living at the Y downtown.
Living out of your Camry that you bought on the way up.
Yeah.
Right,
Everything's fun on the way up. When you realize at some point, you're like, this may not be on the way up anymore.
You'll be selling Pringles at the local gas and sip on a Saturday night.
Yeah. Pringles, that was a kind of a cool job. Nobody ever thought it was cool, though. Like, I remember when I got that job, first of all, I was living in St. Louis in my parents' basement.
Okay.
Out of college. I just didn't think to get a job when I was in college.
You and me both.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
48.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm 50, so we're right in the same day.
I was wrestling when I was in college, and wrestling was over. I was like, oh, I gotta do something.
I did the same thing. I was like, now I graduated. They don't tell you what to do now.
Yeah. So I moved in with my parents, and I had to get a job while I was looking for a job. So I got a job as a busboy at Denny's on I-44 in Barrie. I was a waiter before I went to college, and I came out a busboy. Like
you're going the wrong way.
Yeah. Had I gone to grad school, I think I could have made dishwasher. So real quick, I'm like, I got to do something, man. So I started interviewing, and P&G offers me this job, and they're like, how do you feel about relocation? I'm like, well, currently I'm located in my parents' basement, so I'm in favor of it. I'll locate anywhere except for another part of the basement. I'm afraid of the laundry room. I think there might be monsters in there, but yeah. So then I'm like excited because it's like now I look back, it wasn't that much money, but I'm like, you got to be kidding me! I got this much money.
When I graduated from college, so this is 1990,
right?
I tallied up. This is a true story. I tallied up all my expenses, and I was like, rent, cable, I don't have a car, so
right.
bus, whatever. And I was like, if I can make $10,000 a year. I'll be. You know how much beer money I'll have?
Yeah. I think I got a salary for like $28,000, and I got a car. I got a company car.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was like, there's no way I can spend all this. You know,
I'm an easy street.
Yeah. And then I remember, like thinking everybody else was going to be impressed, and I would talk to this girl like at a bar the night I got the job offer. I was like, yeah, I got a pretty big job. She's like, what? I'm like, I'm selling Pringles. She goes, like door to door? Yeah, door to door. I joined the Girl Scouts, and we ran out of cookies, and now we're selling potato chips, actually. And even my dad, he's like, so you're in sales? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you're selling Pringles? Yeah, to grocery stores. Yeah. Well, then you're not really in sales. I'm like, yeah, I am. He goes, well, tell me this. I go to all the stores, and they already have Pringles. What do they need you for? I'm like, to sell more Pringles. You're not in sales. He thought I was like the guy. He thought I was like the guy that answers the phone at Domino's. Yeah, Pringles. How can I help you? Yeah. We'll send some out. Yeah. New items.
Your dad kind of makes sense.
I know that's the thing about your dad is they ask those questions where you know that he's wrong, but you can't quite explain it.
Dad, you're wrong, but I can't explain why you're wrong.
I just started. I don't know how to explain it yet. I'm not sure I still can.
So I was working at a telemarketing company. Listen to this schedule.
Yeah.
I was an account executive.
Uh-huh.
At a telemarketing company in Omaha. No. I was listen to this. So I worked from 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock at night.
Right.
Went home and slept from like 5:36 to midnight. Got up at midnight and went to the radio station and worked midnight to 7 a.m.
Wow. Whoa.
And did that for 6 months.
Where'd you
This is up in Omaha.
Wow.
And I was so awful as account executive. So what they would do is, you know what? Hold that. We're going to come back. I don't have time. Let's take a break. Greg Warren, our guest. He's here for the whole hour. We're telling stories. There's nothing better than a comedian telling stories about how they got started. We love the fact that he's here. He's going to be at the Funny Bone in Westport Thursday, Friday, 3 shows Saturday and Sunday. Greg Warren, nationally known Pringles salesman, as well as comedian. More in a moment here on the Big 550 KTRS. Let me tell you about Stewart's American Mortgage, because Stewart, there's really nothing funny about Stewart, but he will refinance your house for you, and he has all the same great rates. But what's interesting about Stewart, not much, outside of the fact that he will not charge you any fees. Every single mortgage broker you hear out there, right? Everyone who's trying to lend you money talks about the rates. Oh, we got great rates. Everybody has the same rates. What they don't tell you about are the fees. And at Stewart's American Mortgage, he doesn't charge you any fees. A dear friend of mine yesterday texted me and said, seriously, does Stewart charge you any fees? I'm looking to refinance. Yes, he does not charge you any fees. I don't know why this is so hard for people to understand.
But he charges fees, right?
He doesn't charge any fees.